Wicked. Today was absolutely wicked. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about today's trading recap. First off, today is, what is it? Thursday, June 24th, 2021 here. And I'm happy to report I'm green. Not by much, but I was managed to get green. So I'm up $461 today. And today was just an absolute roller coaster. Kind of a frustrating one, but I managed to do what I could. I almost went red a couple different times, but anyways, let's dive into it. I want to show you my performance, and then I'll show you what I traded. The big beast today was MRIN for me, and we'll talk about it. We'll dissect it a bit and show you how it was absolutely wicked. It was a crazy stock. So first off, let's look at the performance for today. The good thing about today was I never went red, but I got pretty close to it. So I was able to make this beautiful trend, just going all the way up from $0 starting the day all the way up to 523. I was on this perfect trend. No bad trades, just going beautifully up. And then look at this, 1, 2 bad trades, and I'm back down to 188, which was a huge hit to confidence and confidence. What else? Mindset. I don't know. Just really struggled when you have these big losses, and I tend to do this, and it's not good. Of course, we want our winners to be much bigger than our losers, but with me, I've always dealt with this, and it's probably the way I started trading, and picked a certain strategy, and then fell into bad habits, and it's really hard sometimes to break those bad habits. I've been trying to improve, but there's just plenty of times in the small cap world, the strategy I trade where those big red trades come. So you just got to deal with them. Anyways, they took me down pretty hard, and then I dug out a little bit, and then I got hit again. 2 more bad trades. Now I'm back down to 89. And from there, I just slowly chipped my way back and got up to 461 at the end of the day. And I really lucked out with MRIN. We had a move at the end of the day that helped me get through it. So I want to show you guys that. But real quickly, just to tell you what I traded, MRIN, I traded a little bit of DBGI, DOCS, and that was pretty much it. DOCS was a IPO stock, I believe, and today went nuts. So we'll dissect that one in a second. But let me talk about MRIN, this wicked witch of the West. All right. So pre-market, everything's looking excellent, nice and juicy. We got yesterday after hours, the thing spiked up, came back just a little bit, held its strength there. Today, pre-market just had a nice run up. A couple scary moments here, flash down right here, but anyways, everything looking good. So once the market opened, this thing had a nice run up. Now it was a little tricky because once we opened, you see how smooth this transaction is pre-market. Of course, there's not as many people trading it, but once the market opens, it turns into a frenzy, and the thing gets pretty whippy. So starts up, moves up, and then moves down very quickly in that second candle. A quick flash down, and then from there it reversed and just had these huge candles going up. So just from right in here, sometimes I like to let things open up and trade first, like let the stock make its moves to kind of shake things out, to find out where there's resistance and support. And sometimes that's helpful if I just wait a bit. But anyways, I want to actually find out when I first traded this. Actually, yeah, right out of the gate, 931. And most of my trades were decent on it, at least at first. Okay, so I worked my way up. And also, there was one of you that was asking about my sizing and position, all that kind of stuff. First off, I had so many trades today that I can't go over every single one. But as far as my share size, I was trading this. All my trades were 1,000 shares per trade on this. So 1,000 shares in, then out. And I typically don't do the scaling. It's mainly in and out with that amount. So traded it and started putting some good numbers on it, some good trades. And right in here, boy, did I luck out. And I just made the right maneuver here. As it consolidated here, I got in, the thing ripped up, and I sold immediately and took that and that was a solid move there. I got a good chunk of money. And a split second after that, it just flashed down. So just from this one candle alone, look at this, going from 328 all the way down to 290. That is a nasty red candle. So this thing was heavily shorted, and it happens quick, so quick. So seeing that is just like, okay, this thing is absolutely wicked. You've got to be prepared. And so my strategy changed just a bit on this one, where I realized, okay, if it's going to be crazy like this, I want to be buying in low. I don't want to be, there's a lot of other times on other momentum stocks where I buy in high and then sell higher. But once I started to see, especially this candle here, how drastic things can be, I'd rather be buying on the massive dip and then taking the next pop up or the next leg up. So I felt like that was a little bit better for my risk. Now, sometimes that's even tricky when they have a drastic sell-off and you think, because they flash down so hard, you might pick it up, then it continues. So that can be a tricky one. And okay, so back over here, we consolidated, and I was thinking, okay, we had this drastic sell-off. I think there might be kind of a reversal on it, at least if it consolidates at a certain level and starts curling, I think it might kind of retest some areas, and I thought it would really curl back up because this is a dramatic sell-off. And I kind of got caught up in this a bit right in this section here. It started curling up, and it rips up and then started going down. And I actually decided, hey, let me hop in buying low, which I thought was low. And I think my first share bunch, or 1,000 shares, at 287. But then the thing just kept ripping down, pretty dramatic sell-off. And I was like, damn. And so I actually loaded even a little bit lower, like 274, I think. So I was sitting at an average price of 280 at that point, and it fell hard and kept trending down a bit, and then went sideways for a bit. And the thing, I felt like this was today's energy on MRIN, was we started off wicked fast, lots of energy, and it was just up and down, but initially going up, and then, this big slope down. And after that, I felt like we just got stuck, boom, right in the mud. I felt like this whole area here, just volume, you can tell, look at the volume here. So much up front at the beginning of the day, and from there, it just absolutely collapsed, especially in this whole area when we just traded sideways. And so I'm still holding this thing, and I feel like we're just absolutely stuck, and I'm looking for it to, have maybe in a point in time where it'll curl up to 280, maybe 279. I'll sell there for break even. And so I waited for that and waited for that and waited for that, and I just held it for such a long time, thinking, okay, we consolidated quite a bit. It's time for it to either break up or break down. And right here, we did have a bit of a breakdown, but it collected itself, and came back up. But this is such a long time frame for me to hold this thing, and I think I actually ended up selling it at 271, I think, right in here. And I just figured I gotta cut this. So it was a loss, but it wasn't a drastic loss. At this time, right as I got into this trade, I was sitting up like 560, I think. And from there, I had to take this loss of 100 and I think it was like 184 or something. So I still stayed green, but I went all the way down to whatever it was, 300 or 350, something in there. And I was just disappointed in that because I held it for quite a while and we never got the correction. And it was one of those things, eventually we did, because it dropped down, came back up, and then retested and hit 280. So I could have, broke even on that trade, but I didn't hold it long enough. But I didn't want it to be, I didn't want to hold it forever and have it potentially go down even further. So I just cut it. And from here, this got me a little bit more interested, going back into 280. And from there, look at this, curling back down. I was hoping we'd have another leg here, but we didn't. And I think I made a trade in here, took a small loss on it. And I was just constantly, okay, let me show you here. In this whole area here, we consolidated for such a long time and traded within this range for such a long time. So to me, I was thinking, okay, look, we had this thing is still like the biggest gapper out of the day, biggest percent gainer. And we had a lot of, volatility here, a lot of energy going on in here. And we've consolidated for such a long time. I feel like, if we break up above this area, see how this whole area here, we hit, what was it, 280 so many different times. And my thinking was that if it breaks 280, it's going to go. And I can't tell you how many damn times I hopped into this stock in this whole region here. Wish I could circle it. I probably could. But anyways, this whole region here for the longest time, I'd hop in as it looks like it was getting close to maybe breaking 280. So I'd hop in like 279 or whatever. And I did that so many times. I did it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably, I felt like 7 different times probably. And we never got the breakout, and I had to just sell for a small loss at 277 or 276. It was just so frustrating because I knew this would have potential at some point. I couldn't time it right. So anyways, what really pissed me off and frustrated me about this whole thing is that I did that so many different times, getting in, anticipating this breakout. And I was just thinking towards the end over here, towards the very end of the day, I'm just like, man, this thing's, I think it's done. I've tried so many different times and we've gotten nothing. And look at this, very end of the day, 333. It breaks that 280 area, and it just kind of initially it doesn't break out super hard, but it breaks out a bit. Goes up to 285, comes back just a little bit. And I'm like, I don't know if this is it, but it could be it. And then boom, next thing you know, it rips, just takes off. Look at this. This is the biggest, such a huge rip. 283 to initially 248. 350. 281 to 350. So as this thing is ripping up, I'm going, okay, damn, there was the move. I missed it. And as it's going up, I realize, okay, I don't need to chase this and have it just fall flat on me, because I was thinking it would rip up a bit with this energy, and then just as easily as it went up, it would test going back down and then maybe have a huge downside to it. And I was really worried about that. But anyways, long story short, I hopped in, I think twice, going up on this thing and taking little scalps on it. And boy, it just ate me alive because it sustained this strength. It just continued to go up. And then what was even more impressive is that it peaked out here, 350, pulls back just a little bit, and then off to a whole new leg. And I was kind of thinking, okay, is this it? Is this the whole area where now we're going to go hard to the downside? It's going to be heavily shorted and it's going to just rip to the downside. And hey, it didn't. It held its strength. It did the pullback. This is a nice bull flag here, actually. And I don't know. Because of earlier in the day and how dramatic the sell-offs were, I felt like I couldn't fully trust this thing. You know, these two huge sell-offs, these areas, you know, very difficult. And I didn't want to be trapped in that. So chasing this whole move here, I just felt was risky. But I was wrong because it was sustained, ripped up huge, had a nice pullback, and off to the next leg. We went all the way up to 380. So I did get I think probably like 3 more scalp trades in here and added some more on the table. And this would really help me get back to 461 on the day because let me show you the performance. Yeah, I think towards the end of the day here, I was able to look at all these scalp trades. They were mainly on MRIN, and they were helping me get back to where I needed to be in up green bigger on the day. But anyways, wicked. That's the only way I can describe this stock here is wicked. That's insane strength. And I couldn't time it right. And had I you know, got in at that right time, because I was anticipating that breakout, and I told you I traded it so many times in here anticipating that 280 breakout, and just couldn't get the timing right. But if I would have, you know, held on to that and it broke through, man, I'd be a big today if I held through that. But hindsight's 2020, of course. So that was MRIN. Let me know. I want to hear from you guys if you traded this. Let me know your story on how this went for you. Chances are, I'm pretty sure it was, if you traded it, it was wicked for you as well. Hard to trust. At the same time, really impressive on the backside here, very end of the day. And that's sometimes why I stay all the way to the end of the market, is because a move like this can get you in a really good position on your day. And I don't know, had I guess in hindsight too, I could have, I had such great trading in here despite these big sell-offs, because I was able to avoid them and capitalize on them correctly, that you know, I could have left earlier in the day, you know, making $500. So anyways, that's just how it goes. Anyways, this was a crazy one. Let me know how you traded it and what happened to you. Let's move on to the next stock. The only other one that's kind of worthy of talking about here is DOCS. I had a few trades on it, and let's see here. This one was a frustrating one to me too. Now, here's the problem with it, is that I did not trade this for a while because apparently I think it was an IPO stock here. There's no history on it, and I'm pretty sure that, yeah, this is IPO stock because there's no previous charting on this one. And I think that's what the news was. But anyways, IPO stock. And I typically don't trade the IPO stocks because there is no prior performance on a stock to tell you where there's support and resistance. So you're kind of trading in unmarked territory, if you will. And they can be kind of wild. They can, you know, be volatile. But it all depends on the stock as well and the company. But for me, I hesitated on it. I didn't trade it up until this point. To me, it was just like, okay, whatever, it's an IPO stock, and I don't know how it's going to do. And then we get into this area here, and I guess I felt a little desperate too, because we get this huge move up, and I'm not, I had a bunch of losses previously, and so I'm looking for something, looking for an opportunity to help me get bigger green on the day. And this one looked like it had potential. So at this point, I was just like, man, this thing has got some strength. So let me find a good area to get into. And this would have been a great area, but it went up so fast. I was expecting maybe a hard sell-off over here. But once again, a nice bull flag in here. It pulls back, consolidates, and then goes on another rip. So there was some FOMO there. I did get a trade in here. But what happened here is I waited for it to pull back again, hoping we'd get maybe another bull flag. We'd settle out somewhere and then go for another one. But hopped in and just watched it kind of drain off and took a loss there. So I got suckered in on this part, and it wasn't good performance on my part. But so lost there. Had some winnings here, had some losses here. Then it goes off and kind of consolidates. But right here, this is where it really got me frustrated, is that it started to retest this area, that previous high. I was thinking, okay, I might tap out there, do a double top. And it kind of did that and pulled back quite a bit. So I think thought it might be done. And then it starts ripping up, just lots of green candles. And this was so difficult to watch this thing continuously rip and go, okay, where the hell do I get in on this one? I want to take a ride on it, but I just don't know where I can get in here. I was looking for some kind of pullback, nothing. And so I just watched the thing absolutely crush it and go from, let's say 48.76 up to 52. That was just hard to watch and not hop in. I was looking for an opportunity for a pullback, but nothing. So that was pretty much DOC CS for me. I guess I was just feeling FOMO and maybe some desperation. That's why I moved on over this one, but I don't think it did me very well. But let me know how you did on it. That pretty much wraps up the trading for today. There was DBGI. I did take a few little stabs at this. This morning here, or earlier in the morning, rips up, goes into a halt, and then massively gaps up, huge. And to me, I was watching this, and I just go, I'm not even going to bother, because there's not a whole lot of volume at this point for this. It's so early. Look at all this. There's just no volume in here. Now, it's impressive that it's really ripping up, but I don't want to get into it somewhere in here and then just have it, completely fail on me and go way down. So I avoided it until, I watched it for a while. It consolidated, and then I think I got in this area. Had just a few trades on it, nothing really impressive. But that was about it. So yeah, let's show you. Yeah, we'll go on over to, I showed you the performance here. This is just so whippy, but hey, I managed to get green. That's good. Move over to the calendar here. So yesterday was a horrible day for me. Down 11.53. Tuesday was great, but these 2 days are pretty much wiped out. They cancel each other. So anyways, setting up 7.28 for the week. And it's all right. I'm green. I just really wish I would have done a lot better yesterday and maybe not dug that hole as big as I did. But it is what it is. That's how the trading goes, small cap. And that pretty much wraps it up for today. So we got one more day left out of the week here. We got Friday, wildcard Friday. I'm still in my AMC position here. AMC, man, just Another grinding day. This has been the story for AMC for me for a while, is that very impressive that we've rocketed up so much. We did have quite a bit of a pullback, but at the same time, it's held this range really well. We haven't had a dramatic sell-off. It's holding this whole area. We'll just call this, you know, the range from 51 to 65. And it's very impressive that it's still that stable, because we're still way up. My thing is that, you know, I've been swing trading this and I'm still holding my initial position. I'm average cost here for me is 15.97, which is great. I'm just getting antsy over here. I'm waiting for this next rip to 64, or past 64, past 68, and past 72. And I think once we get above that range, hopefully we have a nice second leg just like this got built up, and maybe even something beyond that. That would be incredible. But as of right now, it's just, you know, sitting duck, trying to hold strong. And that's kind of how it is for AMC. And maybe I might look back on this and go, thank God I held that shit, because, you know, it might bring some serious money to the table in the future if things go well. If we can maintain this support and move on. Of course, AMC is, you know, I think a play that is not a technical analysis play at all, because, well, first off, the fundamentals don't make any sense. This is, you know, it's a meme stock, and I don't think there's a whole lot of rhyme or reason. It's just the fact that a lot of people are holding strong, and the hedge funds, you know, they might have to close out on their positions and cover if we can start pushing and not as many people sell. I think it's really going to go. But hey, that's AMC for you. That pretty much wraps it all up for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Do me a favor, if you guys watched all the way to the end here, first off, I really appreciate you watching and giving me the support here for the channel. And if you could just smash the like button for me, maybe subscribe if you want to keep up with my journey and see how the trading goes into the future. And let's see where the next year goes. You know, I really want to build up my account and build it up nice and strong, and really make some good money with this thing. So that's my goal. I know it's probably the same goal you got if you're out there, you know, day trading small caps. So anyways, that's it for now. Take care. We'll see you first thing on Friday.